A tragic day for the Wyandotte County Sheriff's Department. A prisoner gets a hold of a gun and shoots two deputies. One has died, the other is in critical condition.
The deputy killed has been identified as Patrick Rohr. He was 35 years old and had served with the department for 7 years. He was a graduate of Shawnee Mission Northwest High School. The department has not identified the injured female deputy. About 2 hours ago, police escorted Deputy Rohr's body from the University of Kansas Hospital to a forensic lab where an autopsy will be conducted.
Tonight, there is shock and grief in Wyandotte County over today's shooting.
And many are wondering how something like this could have even happened.
Chopper 5 is over the area where that shooting took place, where prisoners are transferred to the courthouse. More than 6 hours after the shooting, and the scene is still relatively quiet.
Tonight, we have in-depth coverage of this still unfolding situation, including eyewitness accounts of what happened. We want to start with new information, though, about the suspect, a man already linked to 2 other murders. KCTV5's Betsy Wenster is here with that. Betsy.
Well, sources tell us that the suspect is Antoine Fielder, a trial for a 2015 murder in KCK that brought 2 hung juries. He was awaiting trial for another murder, and court documents say he bragged to someone that he'd actually done 4 murders. The most recent murder charge was for a 2017 murder in Kansas City, Missouri. The charges came 2 months ago and put Fielder in the Jackson County Jail. But he was still going through the Wyandotte County court system due to previous pending charges for a carjacking and witness intimidation in KCK. That would explain today's prisoner transport. Fielder had pending cases in both counties. In April, prosecutors from both sides of the state line had a joint news conference about the Jackson County charge and used strong words regarding Fielder. Kelsey Ioannis is the young woman killed in 2015 in KCK. The 2017 murder happened just 3 months after Fielder was released due to a second hung jury in the Ioannis case. Her mother spoke to us when the recent murder charge came down and said she'd gladly give up a 3rd trial for her daughter's murder if Fielder could be convicted in the latest one.
I just want him off the streets. I don't care what he goes to jail for. I just think he's a bad person and he needs to be put away.
Wow. Well, I can tell you that when I attended the news conference 2 months ago, both prosecutors, Jean Peters Baker in Jackson County, Missouri, and Mark Dupree in Wyandotte County, Kansas, seemed genuinely fed up with Fielder. They made a big point of discussing witness intimidation and their commitment to protecting witnesses. Protecting. Exactly what those deputies were trying to do when this happened. Live in the studio, Betsy Webster, KCTV5 News.
Indeed, they were so frustrating. Betsy, thank you. As we mentioned, the shooting took place in an area where transported inmates are unloaded.
KCTV5's Kelli Taylor is live outside the courthouse with more on what happened today. Kelli.
We're right up the stairs from where that tragedy happened, and people are already starting to show up to honor that deputy that has been killed. There's a woman there with a flag, and further down the road there at the stop sign, someone is there lighting candles. But at 11:17 this morning, police say 2 Wyandotte County Sheriff's deputies were shot outside the courthouse as they were transporting inmates. A source says an inmate by the name of Antoine Fielder was able to overcome those deputies. Police believe he used one of their guns to shoot them both. One deputy died, the other is still in critical condition, and Fielder was also shot and was rushed into surgery. The sheriff's office spokesperson says that the deputies were going from the jail to the court services building, and the shooting happened outside of the car in a gated area. And inmates are normally shackled and handcuffed when they're transported.
I stand up for the blue line. I stand up for the ones that, like these officers, that were transporting a very bad person, and look what happened. And that officer laid his life down for us.
And that was the woman that we just showed you with the flag there. She was very emotional, and tomorrow we're hearing that KCK police will be giving more information here in the downtown area. Live in Kansas City, Kansas, Kelli Taylor, KCTV5 News.
Thank you, Kelli. Now, the shooting happened just before the noon hour, with people coming and going from the courthouse when those shots were fired. KCTV5's Nathan Vickers has spoke with some of those who witnessed what happened today. Nathan?
Yeah, Brad, this was a horrifying situation for the people who were in or around the courthouse. One of them actually sent a cell phone video of this happening. She was inside the courthouse. This video shows the chaos following the shooting. It shows first responders arriving to help those deputies and a woman lying on the ground. People told us they could hear the gunshots and then that the courtroom was placed on lockdown. They told us they feared for their own lives, too. One man was still shaken up when he spoke to us outside the courthouse later.
At the courthouse, you're at like one of the safest places where you can be. And, this occurred right outside of a courthouse and where there's, like multiple police around.
And police say that's part of what has shaken them up, too, as they've investigated this, that this happened in a secure area. There were 2 officers, and somehow that man was able to get that gun away and shoot 2 of them. Reporting live in KCK, Nathan Vickers, KCTV 5 News.
Thanks, Nathan. The deputies and suspect were all taken to the University of Kansas Hospital, and that's where Deputy Rohr was pronounced dead. KCTV 5's Emily Rittman is live outside the hospital with that story. Emily.
Ellen, it was a somber scene here at the hospital as officers waited to transport the fallen deputy. Around 4 o'clock today, a motorcade of officers escorted 35-year-old Patrick Rohr, who died after he was shot in the line of duty. We are waiting on an update on the surviving deputy's condition. During the last update from police, we were told she was in critical condition. Law enforcement officers from around the metro are sending their condolences and support to her and Deputy Rohr's family. We are told the suspect, who was also shot, was taken to the hospital for surgery.
We do not believe there's any danger to our community of anyone out there currently.
And we have not received an update on the suspect's condition, but when we do, we will share it with you. Reporting live, Emily Rittman, KCTV 5 News.
Emily, thank you. Our area has seen a number of officers shot and sometimes killed in the line of duty in the past few years. And sadly, several of those shootings have taken place in Kansas City, Kansas. In March of 2015, Deputy Scott Wood was shot 7 times when he stopped at a convenience store. 3 men had entered the store to rob it. Wood survived the shooting. All 3 men charged in the case have been convicted of attempted murder. In May of 2017, Detective Brad Lancaster of the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department came to the aid of officers investigating a suspicious person outside the Hollywood casino. Lancaster was shot and killed near the Kansas Speedway. His killer, Curtis Ayers, was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. And then just a couple of months later, Captain Dave Melton was shot and killed. Melton was assisting in the search for suspects in a drive-by shooting. Jamal Lewis has been charged with capital murder in Melton's death, but has not been tried yet.
Law enforcement from around the area are expressing their support. The KCK Fraternal Order of Police said this in a statement: "We are praying for our friends at the Wyandotte County Sheriff's Office, their families, friends, and our entire Blue family. We are here for all of you." From the Johnson County Sheriff, they wrote, "Our thoughts and prayers go out to our brothers and sisters in Wyandotte County. We are standing with you." The Wyandotte County Sheriff's Department. The Jackson County Sheriff wrote, "Our thoughts and prayers are with our brothers and sisters of the city of KCK and the Wyandotte County Sheriff's Department."
For more details, go to KCTV5 News app or KCTV5.com. There you'll find interviews with witnesses, news conferences posted in their entirety, and updates on the investigation as they